Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the So I Heard podcast. Now, if you guys are new to this, my name is KD, and I pretty much come up with these topics with stuff that I see online. But this topic is going to be a little bit different. I wrote this topic down in my list of topics to talk about on the podcast, and I thought it was something that was very interesting. And I was going to record it yesterday because this is when I really got back into the thought process of everything. And it's different than the other topics. Some people might be into it. Some people might not be into it. But this topic is going to be about the paranormal. I don't know why I had to say it like that. I don't know if you guys got that same feel like I said it like it was the title of a show. But anyway, this topic is something that's very crazy. So what made me think about this topic was I was watching these videos on YouTube. And if you guys don't know, on my main YouTube channel, I was doing these late night streams where I was reacting to paranormal videos. I love watching paranormal videos. I've always been into like scary stuff, movies and, just different stuff like that. Movies and shows and just everything. I love dressing up for Halloween. I think it's cool. Some people don't like it because of religious stuff or whatever, but I still am able to separate Halloween from all of that and still enjoy the holiday. Now, sometimes I try to dress as something scary, but I've always been into horror stuff, scary stuff. I love playing scary games also. So I always have to go back and go into history of what makes me like these things or whatever. When I was younger, this is when my parents were together and maybe I was like 5 or 6 or something like that. But we used to have a den. And in that den, it was a couch, TV and everything. And this was on the way to my parents' room. So my mom would go to sleep because, she had work early in the morning. And when she would go to sleep, I would sneak up, go into the den, and watch these scary movies. I remember I used to watch a scary show called Tales from the Crypt. Now, maybe some of you guys have heard of the show. It was an old show from the 90s. They made a couple of movies. And then, Tales from the Crypt died off. But there were also other horror movies that I was into. I always liked Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy, of course. And then, of course, Friday the 13th with Jason Voorhees. Halloween was also good, but I think I didn't watch that one as much as the other ones. And I always just wanted to see something scary. I don't know, I was interested in it. It didn't really scare me. I look at these things as just movies. Now, some people really get invested, especially with those movies that say based on a true story. When they see that and it says based on a true story, they think it's going to happen to them. I know so many people scared of horror movies. My girlfriend, she doesn't like to watch a lot of horror movies. Well, she will. She likes more so slashers, but she won't watch anything that seems paranormal. She's not doing it. No Conjuring, no Paranormal Activity, no Annabelle, no Insidious, none of that. If it's paranormal, she's not watching it. These were things that I loved for so long, man. I remember being a kid and watching the old Poltergeist movie. And even though, the effects looked pretty dated, it still was something that was scary and like, damn, I wonder if people got ghosts in their house. Like, you don't really know about it when you're a kid unless somebody tells you about it or something like that. But now with the internet, it's easy to watch these videos and get involved and really sink hours into watching this content. And it was something that had me hooked. I would get home off of work, go home and watch paranormal videos. I've watched so many different type of paranormal videos. It's to the point now, if somebody shows me a paranormal video, I'm like, oh, I've seen that. And it's not just the paranormal. It also has, well, I don't know if UFOs go into the category of paranormal. It was like stuff like that. I remember a long time ago when this movie came out called The Mothman Prophecies. I watched it at my uncle's house and I was like, yo, that shit was creepy. And if you don't know what The Mothman Prophecy is, it's a movie that's based on this entity. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an alien, but he kind of seems like the Grim Reaper. He shows up when there's about to be, some deaths. It was this place called Point Pleasant. I think it's in Virginia. Stuff happened in real life. People were saying that they really saw this Mothman. They said that all this crazy stuff was happening, and supposedly it's this really, really tall being. I don't know. I feel like a lot of this stuff, you can't just discredit people because you can't just call everybody crazy because of something that you haven't personally seen. So for me, I was invested in all of these stories. Even stuff about Bigfoot is being said all over the world, different types of the Bigfoot. People that have never been to other countries, and that's something that is so crazy about the paranormal. It's everywhere. It's not just in one country coming from one group. It is all over the world. At this point, I feel like if you don't believe in aliens, it's like, bro, come on. We're constantly finding out new stuff about space all the time. And to sit there and believe that we are the only people living in this whole galaxy, just the galaxy, is crazy. And the fact that us as human beings know about multiple galaxies, it's hard to believe that we're alone. Now, I know a lot of people take it to a religious belief and they're like, yo, well, they don't talk about aliens in the Bible. Yeah, of course. There's a lot of stuff that's not said in the Bible. A lot of stuff that we know about that's not said in the Bible, but we know it exists. Now, we haven't seen aliens. We got movies, we got books, we got so much stuff about that, even other paranormal stuff. And we can't just dismiss it and say, I haven't seen it, so it's not real. So let me go into a little bit of story time. Normally, when I think about this stuff, I end up asking people, have you ever encountered anything that is paranormal? Now, for me, I can only recall one time, maybe two. I remember this was at my mom's place where she lives now, and she does not know this story. I've never told her this story. My grandma and my aunt were staying with us for a little while. So I was staying in another area of the house. I was sleeping on a pull-out couch, sofa, bed, whatever you want to call it. Now, in that room, there's a big window. It's like a slide open door. So it has these long vertical blinds. My grandma and my aunt are in my room. They're asleep. My mom's in her room, she's asleep. I was up watching TV late. I cut the light off. As soon as I cut the light off, I sit down on the sofa bed. Now, the only thing in between the sofa bed and the TV, it's nothing. This is where you walk. There's nothing there. Now, the light from the blinds, coming through the blinds, is kind of reflecting on the TV. So what I end up seeing scared the hell out of me. I don't know how I fell asleep that night. I don't, but it scared the hell out of me. So basically what I saw was as soon as I cut the light off and that glare is coming from the blinds and then it's hitting the TV, it looks like somebody is walking in between me and the TV. So like I said, there's nobody there. There's nothing there. This is the walkway space. It looked like a person walked in between me and the TV, but the reflection on the TV is what showed it. So I saw them on the TV walking across. TV has been off for like a minute now. As soon as I saw that, I got scared because the person was walking towards a hallway that leads to the bathroom and the 2 bedrooms. I didn't know what to think. First thing I did was hop up and I cut the light on. And I was just sitting there staring at the TV for like a couple of minutes. And I was like, yo, what the hell? Then I walked into the hallway that's leading to both bedrooms. My grandma and my aunt are in my room and the door's closed. My mom is in her room. I think I was just so scared. I stood in the doorway of my mom's room and I was like, damn, I don't want to wake her up. She got work in the morning. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit there and be like, yo, I seen something. So I didn't say anything. I went back to where the sofa bed was. And again, I'm just staring at the TV like, yo, what the hell? Like, and it ain't like, yo, I wasn't that tired. Of course, was not doing drugs. I wasn't drinking or nothing like. It was nothing like that, dude. I was a teenager, totally sober. Never messed with nothing, man. I wasn't even watching anything scary on the TV, so it wasn't like my imagination just immediately went to something scary. It was just like, yo, what the hell is this? I remember sitting in there for so long with the light on. And like I said, I've always loved scary stuff. I've always thought scary stuff was interesting. I thought it was dope. And I didn't the next day I remember it, but I didn't really question too much into it. I didn't really dig too much into it. I wasn't like trying to find the answers or whatever. All I know was I remember seeing what I saw. And I didn't tell anybody for a long time. I think the first time I told somebody was like maybe years later. That moment scared me so much because I was like, yo, what the hell was that? And then you also asked a question to yourself, who was that? Was it somebody you knew from the past? Or is it somebody that's just living in this area and they're just walking around? And that was the only time I've ever had that. Now, of course, I have to be thankful that it's not anything that harmed me or did anything crazy, but the fact that it looked like a damn person walked in between me and that television and I didn't see an actual person. I saw just like the silhouette of their body go across the screen, but it looked like it just, I don't know, man. It's kind of scary thinking about it now. So that is one incident that I've had that has happened to me personally. The other incident that I was saying earlier, which I was trying to say might be my second, I didn't see anything though. Now I had a cousin named Michelle, and sadly she passed at a young age. She was in, I believe, her 20s. I'm not sure how old she was when she died. But she has a son named Zyrell. Now, I don't think I've ever told Zyrell this either. I don't even know if he remembers it. But when she died, he was staying at my mom's place, the same place. She's in her room sleeping. Zyrell sleep in my room with me. I'm knocked out sleep. It's the middle of the night. All of a sudden, I hear Zyrell talking. I don't know what he's doing. I just hear him talking. Now, my room door is open, I think. I think it wasn't closed or anything. I think my room door was open. I remember my eyes were still closed, and I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And then he doesn't really say anything to me, but he's still talking. My eyes are still closed. I'm like, dude, hey, go to sleep. Go to sleep. And then all of a sudden, he's still talking. And then this is the next part that really got me. I finally wake up, look at him. I'm like, who are you talking to? I'm looking at the doorway. There's nobody there. And he says, my mom. Immediately, I was like, what? Look over at the doorway again. Just like I saw before, nobody's there. I'm like, yo, what? I start staring at him like, are you tripping? But he's a little kid. I forget how old he was when she died. Maybe 5 or something like that, around that age. I remember being like, yo, what are you talking about? He was like, she was standing in the doorway. She was talking to me. And I was just freaked out. So I end up going to my mom's room and telling her whatever. She tells us to go back to bed or whatever. And then I think my mom said something later, like she saw her too. She said she was standing at the foot of her bed. So now I'm in this house and 2 people have seen the same person. I think within 24 hours. And I'm really just sitting there thinking like, what? Some people might be like, well, why didn't she show herself to me? I wasn't asking that question. And I always used to be with her. I always used to be with Michelle. I just thought I would have been scared if I would have seen her just show up. And I remember telling my mom, like, what? Like, both of you guys saw her? And my mom was like, don't be scared. She's not going to harm you. You think she's going to hurt you? And I'm like, man, I don't care if she ain't going to hurt me. I know whose funeral we went to. I'm not trying to see her. Now, you can chalk it up as anything, maybe it's just they were feeling a certain way. So mentally they were having these visions of her. And I was like, nah, I don't think so. I think they really saw her and it creeped me the hell out. My experience that I had was later. So I remember remembering that night that they both saw her. And I was just like, at that point, I was like, yo, maybe this paranormal stuff is like real. Because at that point, I had never heard of anybody else seeing anybody. Another thing that I guess happened, and I don't know, but I've heard about it happening on paranormal shows or whatever, right? When my Uncle Larry died, which is my dad's brother, that whole week we kept getting phone calls. And every time we picked up the phone for these phone calls, nobody would say nothing. It happened like at least 3 times to me when I answered the phone. It was just like nobody was saying nothing. It was just dead silent. And I was like, what the hell? I think my dad said he also got some of those phone calls. And I was like, why would they not say anything? But then, you end up thinking like the logical answer. Maybe somebody is weird or they couldn't actually hear you and, they just didn't speak yet. Then there was another time. The same uncle, a little bit after he died, we took some stuff from his house and we had it at our house. And in our garage, we have a deep freezer. My dad has a television in there, so he was in there watching the TV. There was this glass that was my uncle's glass. It was sitting on a deep freezer. Now, if you guys know what a deep freezer is, it's not vertical. It doesn't stand up vertically like how a normal freezer does. It lays down horizontally and, it's just flat. The glass is sitting nowhere near the edge of the deep freezer. The glass just slides off completely. That shit was creepy. But I think those situations I kind of forgot about it. Like I remember them, but they weren't as crazy as the other 2 that I said before. It's just crazy. I don't know. Before I was recording this episode, I was watching this show on Netflix called Haunted. And listening to some of those stories, they're so wild, they're so crazy. It's like, damn, bro, I don't want this shit to happen in my life. Now, some stuff I am a little bit interested in just because I'm like, you want answers to know if it's real. But then you see what these people go through and it's like, man, I don't know if I really want to know if it's real like that. I'm over here just throwing a weird ass country accent. But the paranormal stuff is wild for me. Maybe you can say that I've experienced it more than others, but it hasn't been anything that has really like harmed me. I can't imagine having some type of spirit or thing that is really haunting you, trying to chase you, follow you, whatever. You're waking up and it's standing next to your bed. You're waking up and it looks like somebody's been grabbing your arm. You're hearing crazy shit like voices and stuff. And it's funny, every time I talk about paranormal stuff, people are always like, man, why do you talk about that? Why do you talk about that? Like, if you keep talking about it, it's going to happen. I think I'm comfortable with it in a way. I can watch it. I can play games like that. I can talk about it. Shit, one time I even tried to go to a place that was haunted. I'm interested in it, but at the same time, when it comes to movies and entertainment stuff, I can always separate that from, I guess, experience or something. I don't know, from life. I can separate it. But a lot of this stuff really did happen, with some of these movies, I say, based on a true story. As soon as I find out a movie is based on a true story, I go and look up the real story. I don't know. The stuff is so interesting to me. You always want answers and want to know, like, what the hell is going on? Like, is this shit real? Hopefully you guys know something about it. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced it. You know, if you guys are watching the video that I end up posting on YouTube, leave down in the comment section if you guys have experienced anything. I wish I had somebody to talk to that was in, you know, my podcast that had some type of experience, you know, a story or something. Shit, even where I work. I work in a place where there's a bunch of business buildings, right? But back in the day, it was this airport for Howard Hughes. I live in Los Angeles. This is like close to the beach. And there was a point where this whole area was considered the wetland. So it was just like, you know, some water, but mainly like plants, animal life and everything. And supposedly way, way, way back in the day, there were Native Americans that lived in the area. So I remember hearing from a few people stories about stuff like that. So people in the area will say they've seen Native Americans, and then when they go to look again, it's like they disappear. Or they see people that look like they were from like the 1920s. They disappear. I remember it was this girl that came here and she was working here, and she was saying she was working here when they were building the building. So there were no businesses or anything really around here. But like, you know, she was doing security, and they had to have security guards here to make sure nobody was really messing with, you know, whatever the contractors or builders left around. And she said one night she saw a Native American like staring at her. And I remember that day when she was talking, she was sounding so scared, like thinking about it. And she was saying for years she could not come back here. She said she was asked to come back here to work to fill in, and she said she would not do it. And I was just like, yo, I've never seen anything, but I've heard multiple stories. Now we have a park across the street. And at that park, they also have their own security. So this was before I got here. Supposedly a guard over there was walking around doing his patrol, and he saw somebody that looked like they were from the 1920s. And he said that they were just walking through the park. Now, he said it really got weird because it looked like they just walked through some trees and vanished. It got so serious to the point where he really wrote that down in his report. He wrote it like it was somebody that was breaking in or whatever. And he started going around talking about seeing these people, these ghosts. Now, they said that the other guards started making fun of him and started saying like, yo, you crazy? Like, what the hell? They weren't taking him seriously. They were just laughing at him. But then hearing this lady that didn't know him and hearing another person later on say something about that, it's like, whoa, maybe this is really going on in this area. Now, like I said, I have never saw anything personally, so I can't really say, yeah, it's true, but it would make sense. The area that I'm in, I also went to school close to this area, so I kind of know the history of the wetlands and how it was back in the day. Now, if you guys know a lot about history or whatever, being close to the beach is a good place for people to settle. So it would make sense that there are Native Americans that were in this area. I don't know what year they started really building businesses and everything, but I remember as a kid, a lot of this land was considered the wetlands. This is before this building was even built. So much of this was just, you know, nothing. It was nothing here. It was plants. It was water. It was just open land. And then they have some other businesses that are closer to the beach, but I'm not sure when they built those either. So it definitely makes sense putting it together. The paranormal is always interesting to me, man. I'm always looking up new paranormal stuff. I don't know if you guys are like it. I don't know if you guys are scared of the stuff or if it really has you like, you know, captured and have you so interested. It definitely does for me. Hopefully you guys like this episode, man. And if you guys like this episode, please let me know. My socials are down below. I always leave it in the description section of the podcast if you're checking it out on the red circle. And I also leave my socials down in the description section if you guys are watching on YouTube. If you guys are watching or listening on Spotify, it probably won't show those details. I'm not sure. I don't think so, though. But if you guys want to check me out on Twitter, my Twitter is who_is_KD 2 underscores. My Instagram is It's King KD, and my YouTube is whoiskd. Let me know how you guys like this one. Let me know if you guys have had any experiences. Thank you for listening. You guys stay dope. Peace.